Hi, this is Eleanor from The Sound Review, and I am back today with another edition of Behind the Sound, which is my newly named series, when I speak to artists and bands about their music, their history, and their future projects. Today I'm joined with the fantastic Jonah Roth, who is joining me all the way from Pennsylvania to talk about his new single As Long As and all the things he's got in the works at the moment. I really enjoyed talking to Jonah and I think you're really going to love this interview. So without further ado, let's get into this interview. It's a lot to me, long as I got time
My name's Jonah Roth. I'm from like a small town in Pennsylvania. I make like this first song's kind of indie psychedelic, but make kind of like indie pop music, more centered toward. I have some rock songs too, but I guess I'd call it like indie pop, I guess.
Yeah, you're my first official overseas guest, so you're very, very special. Thank
Awesome,
you.
happy to be that. Thank you.
So tell me about when your musical journey began. When did you realize you wanted to pursue music?
Uh, I feel like I've just been doing music like my whole life. Um, I don't know. I guess like now that I think of it, I think like when I was like a real little kid, my parents said I was like drumming in the backseat of a car to like a Beatles song. So maybe subconsciously, like around then is when I felt like I, I wanted to do music. But I think like when I was going off to college and I went to or I went to college for music, that's when I really wanted to like make songs, and I was learning about the industry and songwriters and producers, and wanted to do that like all the time.
I was named after a Beatles song, so that was really interesting.
Oh, nice. Eleanor Rigby. Yeah.
Yep.
Very
My
nice.
granddad was a huge Beatles fan. So this year you released your debut single, As Long As, which is just a really beautiful song. Is this your first official song release ever?
No, this is actually, I feel like this is like my 10,087th song I've made, but I used to make a bunch of music back in high school with like a band. And then when I was in college, I made like some songs, but I never really felt like I liked them enough. Or I've heard like a friend has actually told me once in songwriting, kind of like he knows when a song is finished, when it gives purpose to someone, or when it can bring someone meaning. So I felt like I resonate with that a lot. And so this kind of song is one of these, one of many songs I've made like recently that I feel like is given, not only just me purpose, but I feel like a lot of other people can resonate with it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those who haven't heard the song yet, could you describe a bit about what it's about?
It's kind of just, it's about like some loss. I wrote this song around the time my cat passed away. So it's a bit about that. It's a bit about a lot of other things, losing relationships in like the past and moving forward, and just kind of being happy that you could be in them, or you can keep moving forward with whatever you're doing. That's kind of what this hat, I feel like, represents too, like just growth and keeping going and moving forward and picking up stuff as you go. But yeah, I also like what you said, like it's like a lullaby. It's kind of just out to help soothe people is what I wanted to do for that song.
There is I really like that kind of theme. There's been a few songs I've been listening to recently that have that kind of theme. There's a song by a band called Lilo called It's Not the Same in Winter, which is a similar thing. It's about losing someone close, and then you kind of forget how close you were, and like the memories are all a bit faded and stuff like that. And I just think it's such like it's an untouched subject really, because people don't enjoy singing about it because it is quite an emotional one, but I love hearing about it. So how long has this song been in the works for?
I guess that was around 2 years ago. I wrote that song, and I actually wrote it and recorded it all like in the same day. I remember like I was like playing the piano, and I was in like the studio, and I recorded the piano and I wrote the song, and I was like, I just need to finish this song, because I feel like if I don't just get the whole thing done, then I'm never gonna come back to it, because it is like, yeah, I guess it was like a very emotional tied song in just life. And so I felt like I might just hate it like the next day. I might just never want to see it again. But
At
yeah,
least it's out there.
yeah. As long as it's out there, yeah, that's like
Perfect.
the most relieving feeling, is to just get it finally out into the world.
Yeah, I can't imagine after working on it for that long just to have it, you know, somewhere forever is nice, and then other people can appreciate it as well. Um, so, yeah, you've obviously been performing for quite a while before you've released this single. How long have you been performing live for?
Also, I feel like my whole life, I did like theater when I was a kid, but when I really started doing a lot of performance was in middle school. Me and like my friends had just like a random band in like end of elementary, middle school, where I don't even think we were playing anything, but it was just a whole bunch of fun. Uh,
Yeah.
and we would just play for friends. And then I did like all the talent shows in school. So I feel like I've always just wanted to like play songs. I don't know.
What's your kind of like favorite place to perform? Any more of like a bar or a pub type of person, or?
I really like doing like a brunch or like kind of like a morning afternoon thing because sometimes I'll play like guitar, but also I like playing a lot of piano and just kind of creating like an ambiance. Actually, I think is really fun. Um,
Nice.
I guess no one's like usually listening, but I think that's kind of like the fun part about it is that you know no one's really listening to what you're doing, but they kind of feel the energy of just this is like a relaxing place to
Oh,
be in.
that
So I
is
think that's really
cool.
fun because you can also just experiment a lot. You can just play things you wouldn't normally play at like a bar where you're just playing like covers and rock songs and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Is that quite a common thing where you live? I think here it's you only really see music acts of a night time, and like on a weekend it's uncommon to see someone playing during the day.
It is. I mean, it is like rare. There are like a lot of coffee shops around my area though too, and it's there's a ton of college towns in my area, so there are just places that will be like, "Hey, can you come for brunch or can you do this thing in the morning?" There's a great place actually that's for that a lot. They have like a Sunday brunch. I used to play there all the time, and they have like a
Oh,
stage and it's super beautiful. Um,
oh.
Shout out to Brewskis. That's a great spot.
That's a brilliant name as well. I love
Yeah.
it. While you're not at the kind of beginning of your journey as an artist, obviously you've been in bands, you've performed on your own for a bit as well. What do you find most challenging about being a musician?
Definitely doing the music content and making videos and all this stuff. I'm like super new to it, even though I feel like I had a YouTube channel when I was a kid and I was just making nonsense videos, but to connect it to my music and not just to like do it for fun,
Mm,
feels really hard because I feel like it's hard for me to pick one thing I want to do, and that's what it seems like a lot of content revolves around. Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's definitely a struggle, and I respect like people that can really make awesome videos all the time.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how
Yeah,
they have the energy to do
yeah.
all that kind of thing. What are you enjoying the most? What's your favorite?
The process of making music, just being able to come back and like sit down, play guitar, play piano, and just make something, and then the next day listen to it. I mean, it's not always that great. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, "Man, that was terrible," but a lot of times it's really satisfying to just to listen to something you made and to improve on it and to keep changing it and to like see it grow. I think is really cool.
Yeah, I suppose making mistakes is technically part of the process. However,
Yeah.
not nice it is, it is technically part of it. What would you say is your either your biggest dream or like your kind of first goal?
My biggest dream is definitely I want to make a project that really shifts the way music is listened to. I think a lot of people are really scared of AI, especially in like music and art. But I don't feel that way at all. I really like AI, and I'm interested to see where it can go with music because I think right now it's at a point where it's good and it's cool and it's good enough that it can make music and make all these art and things like that, but it's not quite good enough where it can really fuel music and it can really add and upgrade what music is already. And I really want to make music for that time. So I'm waiting for whenever happens. Hope maybe I can make that thing, but that's what my biggest dream is to to make something like that, I guess.
So, what can we expect in the near future from you?
These next, so I have 9 more songs, which should come out over these next couple of months, and then all those songs will be a part of a project. So hopefully by the end of summertime, everything should be out.
Exciting stuff. Very,
Yeah.
very exciting. And I can't wait to see all of
Thank
it
you. Yeah.
come out. And I can't wait to see this hat debut on stage as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, that would be sick. Hopefully it doesn't start falling off, all the stuff,
Yeah.
but hopefully it doesn't change to fall. No, I love this hat. This is my favorite thing right now. This is
As it should be.
yeah.
If I owned one, I'd be wearing it all the time.
So I got these 9 songs. I guess what I can say is I'm putting out my worst songs right now. So get ready for the good songs when they come out. Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this whole video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed interviewing Jonah. If you would like to support Jonah, which you should, all the links you could ever need are in my description, as well as links to my website and my socials, which will be conveniently coming on the screen right now. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to see the next edition and all the other lovely stuff I post on this account. And above everything, please make sure you're supporting small upcoming artists and grassroots venues. It is so important that we support these things because there would not be a music industry without them. That's all from me in this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Happy listening. Bye!
Open eyes, they cut each other. Living smile, loading mine. My delight, stay for